I'm good to go.
What is what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing this afternoon? It is the Shop Podcast live every single weekend, bringing you guys the heat as far as this podcast gaming business goes. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, man. We're gonna jump into it. We got a lot to unpack. It's been a huge week, man. A lot's been going on, a lot to talk about. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Smash the like button. Let everybody know the link is already out on Twitter. Retweet that thing, share it, let everybody know we are live now on the Shop Podcast. But I will let everybody here, my compadres, talk. Let you guys know what they got going on. So let's just go ahead and get started with you, Stag. How you been, brother? What's been going on with you? How the streaming thing going? Tell the people what's been going on.
I'm good. Everything's been going well. Things are trending well. Hit 51 subs today on
Nice,
Twitch, so that was a nice accomplishment.
nice. Congrats.
Get my fifth emote unlocked, so I'm happy with that. But other than that, just staying safe, brother.
Awesome, awesome, man. I see you doing your thing too, man. Always at the house, posting pictures on Twitter. Got a lot going on over there with the homestead. If you didn't know, Stag, there's a little bit of homesteading over there, so it's always interesting to see what you got going on every week, man. So always got different things going on between the garden and the house and the animals, and it's interesting, man. I always love to see it. So appreciate you here every single week hanging out with us, man. So let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Centurion. Let everybody know what's going on with you. How you been this week? What you been playing, man? What you been doing?
Man, how have I been this week? Man, how have I been for 2 weeks? I was pumped for last Saturday, and then
Yeah.
PTK had to sit down with his executive meeting with Fuzzy over at Microsoft and talk about how they were going to slide someone like a video on the Series S, and now we all see what happened from that. Anyways, so what have I been playing? I've been grinding out the Saints Row series. I've been actually having a blast playing some Saints Row 3. I've been over here playing the Avengers. I literally had some friends, do that whole thing where they kind of peer pressure you into buying a game. So I've been playing the Avengers. And then also top all that off. Wow. Top all that off, I decided to get in touch with my younger self and play some Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Okay.
Game's so good.
Huh?
Okay.
Game is so good.
Oh, dude, that game is so. Oh man, I want to get a skateboard just to put it on my wall, man. I mean,
That's classic.
I feel like a kid
Oh,
again.
you mean like the pink one that I got from the pre-order?
Oh, dude, you could go. I actually thought about getting that thing. I really did, but I was never a Tony Hawk fan. Like growing up, I mean, Tony Hawk was just
you
so
just fraud out every week. I swear to God.
fraud out every week. But that's the only thing, man. My boy back in the day when I was growing up was Kareem Campbell. I was not a vert skater.
Yeah,
I loved street skaters, man. Tony Hawk was just a vert boy. I
Tony
loved
Hawk does everything.
Huh?
Tony Hawk does everything. What are you talking about? He's known for vert, but he's a skater. So.
Oh no, he's a really good skater. That's the only thing. But I gravitated more towards the street side of it, and that's where Kareem Campbell and all of them came in, and that was my sense of style. And yeah, that was the side of skating I got into. I mean, I was on a blind board, so as soon as I got into the whole customize a skater thing, I mean, I completely built myself back in the day.
Nice. Okay. Well, we appreciate you here hanging out, man, doing your thing, playing some Tony Hawk, man. Hit him up once again, man. I know you're gonna have some videos cooked up, man. Hopefully, when you get some free time, we'll get into that a little bit later on, man. Let's throw this thing over to Mr. Smooth Fuzzy Belvedere. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead and tell the people what's been going on with you, Mr. Fuzz.
Well, I haven't been doing much other than just enjoying the entertaining back and forth on Twitter. But man, so much great news over the past week, and still more to come. So let's just get right to it.
Yeah, let's just dive in, man. We got a lot to talk about. Once again, everybody, all the information in the description below. If you guys want to follow us on Twitter, holler at us. Appreciate you guys every single week hanging out with us, showing up, showing out, man. Retweet that link. Let everybody know we here live. Come hang out with us in the chat, man. Let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. So we go ahead and just get started with the poll of the week. So this week it was pinned on my Twitter. So once again, follow me there. If you want to, be a part of the poll of the week, every single Monday I post it there. Then we talk about that on the Shop Podcast every Saturday. So this week's poll of the week was: this gen has been full of big game announcements of the games that may never actually come out. If you could give one game or one of these games to get out of jail free card, which one would it be and why? So we got a couple options here. I looked these up actually on Google. Some of these games that were announced that actually never came out. So we got Tekken, I guess, versus Street Fighter, or Tekken X Street Fighter, and then we got Skull and Bones. Then we got Dead Island 2, and then other. So Skull and Bones, sorry about that. Dead Island 2 actually won at 36%. Tekken versus Street Fighter, second 34%. Skull and Bones 13%, and then other was 17%. So we're gonna start with you, Stag. Did you vote this week? If you did, which one of those options and why?
And I don't even remember if I voted. It's been a long week, to be honest with you, around here. But I think I did, but I don't really have I think I voted other, and I had no answer.
Okay.
So maybe Deadpool? No, I'm just kidding. Wait. A good Anthem game. There we go. We'll just leave the show with it this week.
You can save it to the end, dude.
No, we're just gonna bust it out right now.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I don't have a great answer for this, but man, as a fan of back when I was younger, the original Tekken series, and I mean, I still enjoy them to this day. It would be cool to have that. Was it Tekken Cross Street Fighter or whatever? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, two great franchises. You know what would be really cool is if like all the fighting games like got together and just gave us like Tekken, Street Fighter, Clay Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Battle Arena, Toshinden, Virtual Fighter, whatever. Like just a mesh.
So many licenses.
Oh my god, it'd be ridiculous. and who the hell would put it out? But dude, it would be crazy, right? Like if you got some like, maybe it wouldn't be like the actual games, but get some indie dev to just do like close mock-ups and just mock all the names and stuff and have them be silly. That'd be that'd be fun. So I mean, it would be cool if we could have gotten that, but man, I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of
I'm not. I don't know. I'm just not. I don't really. We could say scalebound, right? Start a riot right at the beginning of the show. I don't know, but anyways, yeah. So next, I don't have anything else to say on that. Sorry, buddy.
It's all good. We're gonna throw this over to you since you're around. So we're gonna give you a shot. On this one. So out of all the options on the poll, which one of those or why did you have another option? Something else.
Oh man, see, I had my write-in, which was Anthem, and I'm
oh man, you can't double up on the AT.
We ain't done.
Oh man, how many minutes are we into the show?
Oh man.
Anyway, so staring at the options on the list, I'm gonna have to say Dead Island 2, but that's just because I'm a huge fan of what the Dead Island games are. I mean, dude, the genre of that style of gaming, I enjoyed Dead Island. I've enjoyed what is the other one where you run around and avoid the stuff at night?
Oh, Dying Light.
Dying Light, which is kind of like an evolution of that, we'll call it. I just love games like that. So yes, if I could definitely give one on that list a get out of jail free card, for me it was Dead Island.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I initially, when I did the poll, that was when I did the second look at it. I had to do some extra read ups on these games to make sure they were actually games in the first damn place, because I don't want to put anything on the poll that was an actual game at some point, not just an idea. So that was one that kind of was very interesting. I'm actually surprised.
If I was an eccentric millionaire, I think I'd go around from developer to developer and just start funding projects to like completion. And whichever ones exploded into being a success, I would just be like, yeah, that's right. That's how I built some money.
I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, you get some Bill Gates level shit. Just go around investing personal money. Yeah, that'd be dope.
Well, look at Scorn. Scorn was a kickstarted game that was funded by some mysterious benefactor, and all of a sudden it is becoming exclusive for Microsoft, at least maybe even temporary, but still, I mean, that game definitely got some backing and definitely hit the ground running at that point.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. So, all right, so let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Fuzz. See, what's your choice, brother? Did you vote this week? And
well, it was tough because I would love to see a Tekken versus Street Fighter. I mean,
okay, that actually was a thing at one point. Once again, I did do the research.
Yeah, and that would be an awesome like fighting game, because I don't think, even with all the stuff that they've kind of done wrong with Street Fighter 5 with ads and whatnot, and just milking it out where it's like, oh, it's going to be Street Fighter Turbo, Street Fighter Turbo Ultra, and whatever. Just I had to come up with something other. Well, I voted other because there's a game that everybody assumes is going to be this next generation, and I'm almost going. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's not going to come out for some time, or if it does, it's going to be complete trash. And that's Grand Theft Auto 6. Grand Theft Auto 6 will not see the light of day before, what is it? Everywhere from Build a Rocket Boy. If you guys don't know, 2 out of the 3, founding fathers for the whole Rockstar setup and most of their games, whether it be Bully, Red Dead Redemption, or, Grand Theft Auto, 2 of them are gone. One of them started his own studio. The other one is kind of, in hiding. Well, I won't say in hiding, but he's probably because of a non-compete, probably not doing anything in particular. And plus he's made millions off of all the Rockstar hits. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see a Grand Theft Auto 6. And that's one that before it gets into,
You mean at all? You just mean for a long time. Let's be clear here.
Well, yeah, it's think about it. We've had Grand Theft Auto 5 for now going on 3 generations of consoles. As slow as Rockstar is to refine and perfect their games, this is even abnormal for them. I mean, other than if you're going to count the game Spy, but I would say Spy is a long, or no, Agent. That's what it was. Agent's a long gone game. Yeah. Grand Theft Auto is going to be in that developmental hell this whole next generation, and people are going to wonder why. Hey, it's online or GTA Online 2, but no Grand Theft Auto 6. But that's just my 2 cents. But that's all I got.
Okay. All right. No. Once again, guys, chat. Once again, as we ask these questions, these are for you now. Let us know in the chat what you guys think about the questions, the answers. We like to get things mixed up here, so let's go ahead and talk about it. But once again, that was a good warm-up topic, man. I actually didn't expect Dead Island 2 to win that at all. I would have went with the Tekken Street Fighter. I think it's a little bit more known, but once again, great warm-up topic. So let's go ahead and keep this thing moving. Once again, everybody, retweet that link. Let everybody know the Shop Podcast is live right now. Come in here, hang out with us, subscribe to the channel. If you have not, hit that bell, that notification bell, to make sure you guys are aware of when we guys start, the show and we do other videos. So let's go ahead and keep it moving. So once again, we said it. This week was big. There was a lot going on this week. If you didn't know, so the Xbox Series S, we've talked about this, leaked essentially. Some people say allegedly it was a leak. It leaked essentially, and then Xbox kind of flipped that leak on its head and just said, forget about it. Now that it's out, we're going to go ahead and just make it official. So they put out the official news this week. Xbox Series S, Lockhart, whatever you want to call it, it is real. It is a thing, and it is $299. It is $299. So it comes in at the price point. We got price point for everything. The Series X is $499. So we're locked in. Xbox is locked in. So we want to get everybody's opinions on that. We'll start with you, Stag. Where are you at on just the whole leak, how it was kind of flipped? I do think that the marketing was really cool. They kind of made it, they kind of took, just took it in stride and made it kind of a joke, which was dope. But what do you think about it? What do you think about the pricing and, your expectations, where are they at?
Pricing is pretty good. The thing was leaked a couple times months ago. If we look at Phil Spencer's pictures.
Yeah, that.
The little Easter eggs for us, but I think both consoles are priced well. I don't really care about the leak aspect of everything. Was it leaked or was it a timed leak? It's one of those speculations. Sure, they were going to come out this next week and do it, but who knows? Now, was Sony planning on coming out next week and doing something, or are they now responding? Is one question I do have. That's always interesting. But I think the system's great. And, the pricing is it's competitive pricing, I think, for both the family market and the harder core market. With you get the $299 and the $499 differences. Obviously, I think that $299 is going to sell like gangbusters at Christmas, no matter where the PlayStation comes in at. So It's going to be under some Christmas trees for sure.
For sure.
I'm very, very curious to see how. I know this is an Xbox topic, but I'm definitely very curious to see how PlayStation responds and what price points they come in at. And I still want. I'm hoping like maybe I know I've heard multiple times that we've seen the games we're going to see, but I'm just hoping that we'll see some more games. You know, so like
at the PlayStation at the Sony event.
No. I'm talking for Xbox.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So yeah, we'll get into the Sony thing.
I mean, Sean Su's saying about the 25th anniversary. I mean, there might be something to that in the sense of like every time Xbox has made an announcement recently, Sony then either dogpiles on right after, or if they know Xbox is going to come out and do something, they've been known to, do something. So I mean, maybe they did for a change. Like, you know what, it's our turn, but who knows? So I think the S is a great option for everybody. I actually think it looks kind of cool. So I mean, yeah, that's where I'm at. Like the price is good. $299 seems like a great price for what it is. $499 for the Xbox Series X is definitely exactly where I thought it was going to be. So
yeah, I think most of us feel there.
Yeah. I mean, and like we all knew but didn't know that the Series S was coming, so it was kind of nice to finally get that actual boom. So, yeah, let's just man, is it September 22nd yet? We got 10 days.
Yeah, we ready to go. So yeah, it was something that just happened. I mean, I saw the leak. Like I said, allegedly, whatever you want to call it. We're not going to get into the particulars of that because ultimately, we got the damn news. I don't really think how we got it matters. We don't need to really Scooby-Doo all of that. So we'll keep going. But either way, I think it was really cool how the marketing handled it. They kind of just said, let's just get it out the way. Really, really cool, man. I think it was a great price point. I think it fell where everybody figured it needed to fall. There are some particulars that people are kind of bringing up now about optimization between consoles, but ultimately it's a great price point. It's a great console. It looks great. It's great hardware. I'm really excited about it. So let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Centurion. Where you at on this, man? When you got the news, what'd you think? Price point? Just where you at? Expectations?
My expectations are actually right where they should be. The Series S was priced. Actually, honestly, I was shocked that it was at $299. I'll at least get that. You can't even really buy and build a computer for $300 that even uses some of the stuff that's inside the Series S. So you're getting quite a bargain for what you're paying for. I love how there's been some rumors going around how this thing's going to hold back this and hold back that. If everybody understood the map of how I'm just get tired of all of a sudden all these devs that seem to have this bitterness behind them. I probably more than likely stick my own foot in my mouth right now and saying that if you're a dev that's coming out and pretty much trying to slam Xbox, it almost feels like were you like passed on for your game or something? Like why would
dev kit?
Like, I'm just saying right now, there, like in my industry, there's plenty of manufacturers that I would like to come out and point some things that they could correct themselves on. But that would cost me my job. And that's why I'm surprised that these devs are even doing that. And then as long as any game is designed to work on a mechanical hard drive, I've already said that's not next gen. As long as it's designed to run on a slower RPM hard drive, it will never officially be next gen because it's being designed for the lowest common denominator. And as soon as the Series S is released, regrettably, that's going to be a majority of PCs on the market. The Series S hit exactly where I thought it should be when they announced the price. The Series S is the product that I thought it would be. Not at one time did I ever get it confused with anything else or Microsoft or people are saying that Microsoft said it was something else when Microsoft has come out and said that this is a base experience. This is not the premium experience. So please quit going out trying to buy a Ford Focus thinking you're getting a Ford Mustang. You're fooling yourself. If you want that premium console experience, you need to fork over for a Series X or even one of the high-end PS5s if you want a true experience for next gen.
Well, there it is. There it is. Soapbox put away.
Right.
No, I'm just playing. But either way, no, that's a great breakdown. So it's just interesting to see what's been said. A lot of people been talking about a lot of different things since we got this information. It's really something that we've been asking for. We've been waiting on pricing. There's been this cat and mouse thing between the two companies, and we just wondered who was gonna budge first. Now, I wouldn't call this really a budge. It was some people are speculating it wasn't even a real leak. It was just like a time leak or a fake leak, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, ultimately, I don't care. As long as we get the news, we get the information. However we get it is fine with me. So where you at on this, Fuzz? When you got the info, you've been talking about this. We've been talking numbers for a while now on the podcast. Probably over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about where is this going to be at. So is it where you're at? I mean, I think this lines up about where you said it was.
Within $50. Like I've been saying for a while, it's going to be between $299 and $349. I'm glad they went with the $299 price point. It's perfect for those that are just getting into next gen. As far as the whole confusion thing, I just find it laughable. If they're worried about grandma going to the store, do a print screen of the freaking product from the manufacturer page. That's what most kids will do these days. If they're trying to convince their grandparents to get them something for Christmas, and they're clueless on the stuff, they'll usually either link it, email it, print a page, and then they can, grandma or grandpa can take that to the store. But I don't know. Phones are confusing, I guess. Tesla owners, I don't know how they do it if they can't. If you can't tell the difference between an S or an X.
Hey, Fuzzy.
BMWs. I mean, geez.
Yeah,
right. Or Mercedes.
all the numbers. Oh my God.
Hey, Fuzzy. You know what Xbox has really beat into every person's head?
What's that?
The value of Game Pass. So I don't give a flying F what people think. Unless you're a spoiled little brat, most parents look for a value and they know that their kids are going to it's going to be cheaper for their kid to be on Xbox, even if you're still having to play for free to play games, which is wrong. But I've been doing the math in my head. And even by paying for Game Pass and Xbox Live, Game Pass Ultimate, whatever the hell you want to call it, you're still getting more value because you're giving kids a library of games on a cheaper of console. And I'm sorry, but there is going to be parents out there that are going to make that decision based on the fact that they know that basically their kids' gaming habit is not going to eat them out of house and home.
Very true. And considering that, I'm getting my twin boys, they're both getting the Model S or Xbox Series S. And the great thing about that is that if I do it as the all access plan, they'll have their own, I guess account, so I don't have to worry about the game sharing and all that stuff, which can get a little hectic if there's going to be three of us online at the same time. But it awesome on the news. Didn't expect it to fully replace the Xbox One X. Anybody that did, I mean, the letters kind of tell you its slot. It's going from the Xbox One S to the Xbox Series S. Common sense. If you want the Xbox One X experience, get the Xbox Series X. And if $500 is out of your price point, definitely go the all access route because you're actually saving money. And I like saving money, and that's probably why I'm going to do the all access route anyway, just so that way I don't have to worry about renewals. I mean, I have, Game Pass Game Pass Ultimate until January of 2022. I'm about 1,000 points away from having it until April of 2022. So the news is great. Adding EA Play to it.
I was just going to say that too. I was just going to bring that up.
I mean, it's not doing me any favors other than a discount for like pre-orders and having access to games that I might be on the fence on. Perfect example. Like I let my EA access expire in July, and I wound up buying what do you call them? Star Wars Squadrons and Madden 21 before, I mean, I knew there was going to probably be some issues and it was going to be copy and paste, but I figure I might as well get the discount before my EA access expires. And, you know, when you buy it, you get the free upgrade at that time. So, you know, it is what it is. And for anybody that's into trying games for 10 hours when they're launching, or if they want to have early access to the game, that's a perfect added value on top of everything. But the news is great. I mean, we had good news if you're into PCs with NVIDIA the week before. This week was all about the consoles on the Xbox's side and I don't think they've released everything just yet, but everything that they did release was worthy of excitement. And then, you know, looking on to next week, we'll have some more come Wednesday, but I'm just pretty happy with the pricing. I mean, sure, I would love for the Series X to be a little cheaper, but I mean, kind of expected 500. If the Xbox One X was 500 when it came out, the fact that they're even matching that same price is pretty awesome, considering how much further in tech it is. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, that's a big deal. That's a lot of value on top of what Game Pass already giving you. Adding EA Play, there's so much value, and then adding being able to finance. We didn't really get into that, but being able to finance these systems too, like pretty much damn near interest free. I've seen a lot of people doing the numbers on Twitter. A lot of mathematicians out there breaking down the numbers, but damn near interest free. I mean, it's not quite interest free, but it's damn near as close as you can get. So really good consumer friendly idea. We'll see what Sony says. Obviously, we'll get into that obviously a little bit later in the show. But once again, another great topic, man. So let us know in chat what you guys think about that. Let us know in the chat, man. We're gonna keep this thing
This
moving.
whole finance a console thing is gonna get fun after a while.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
You know, there's gonna be a chat section for people that have had their consoles bricked because they didn't make their console payment.
Oh my goodness. The load jack on the consoles, man. Oh,
well, no, the thing I would like to see at that point, if they're going to go that route, like the cell phone route, are we going to see a $1,500 console that's going to be on par with a current gen or current spec PC? That might be a possibility, or something that's a little bit more doable at that point. But
what do you mean?
So, like, we have, what is it, 12 teraflops, 16 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get something that's 24 gigs of RAM and the refresh, and maybe it's $700, but you finance it for $40 a month or something like that.
Oh, so you're saying that Microsoft wants to push the envelope when it comes to like how big you can actually make the home console?
I don't know if that's on their to-do list, but it's something that could come up. I mean, I would say it might be something worth trying, although there's always, but then again, Microsoft, other than the Surface, their Surface laptops and things, aren't really in the hardware business for computers. But if they decided, I don't know, it might be interesting at that point.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's an interesting idea. I don't quite know where you're going with that, Fuzz, but we may get into that just a little bit. Just a little bit on that. Okay. All right, man. So let's go ahead and keep this thing going. So yeah, sorry about that. So next thing we're gonna be talking about. Oh, so sorry, guys. Sorry. Is we're gonna be talking about Nintendo pricing issues. So we're gonna definitely be getting into that. This is something that I saw earlier this week with I think it was Super Mario 3D All Stars. It was $60. And we've always talked about Nintendo and their pricing and them not really ever discounting anything. And people, they have a high attach rate. People buy their games. So we'll see where this is at. We'll see how this goes. I mean, I don't know if this is that big of a deal. I mean, I don't know how many Switch owners are listening right now. But this is something, if you're in the Nintendo ecosystem, you should be used to this. I mean, Nintendo doesn't do a lot different, but we give them the benefit of the doubt, and they make a great product. So I just want to go ahead and we'll start with you, Stag. Where are you at on this? I mean, did you see that? Is it something that you're even like thinking about at all regarding this?
The game? What do you mean? The game, the pricing?
Yeah, the pricing essentially, just Nintendo and
any games, or just this specific one. Where do you want me to go with this? Because I can do either.
Okay, well, I mean,
I'll do both. Look, I mean, we've said it. We'll start off with Nintendo game pricing. I mean, they do what they want. I mean, and they're competitive with the market. Granted, they don't put their games on sales, but I mean, why do they need to charge $40 for their cartridge games when they're clearly doing fine at 60? And that's what competitors' systems are doing. They're charging $60 for their games. Granted, a lot of the games that are coming out now are coming out for $39.99 to the $59.99 market. I've noticed a trend because I pre-order a lot of stuff as we're hitting the end of this gen. A lot of the stuff for PlayStation and Xbox that's coming out from now until December is $39. So I could see them lowering their price, but they don't need to because their loyalty pays for it. Now on to this new game, the Mario All-Stars. The way I look at that one being $60 is it's 3 games for $60.
Yeah.
It's $20 a game. So really, I don't think anybody should complain. I mean, sure, they're older games, but it's Mario, for Christ's sakes. I have it pre-ordered for my wife because she loves Mario.
Yeah.
I also have Pikmin 3 ordered and pre-ordered because I like Pikmin. I really enjoyed it. So, I mean, those are things that I want to play. I don't honestly believe Nintendo should get criticism for charging $60 even for older games. I mean, if the market bears it out, I don't understand why it should be criticized.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. And I've always said that
and that's capitalism, right? I mean, if the market bears it out, you charge what you can get.
And the great thing about Nintendo is that generally you get quality associated with Nintendo. So they've been able to be flexible, and their fans buy a lot of games. They buy a lot of games. I mean, we can talk about the quality of the game. We can talk about the size of the games, or are these games any good, or is it going to be the Mario every year?
Crazy.
But ultimately, these games are played by music.
One extra caveat to these games: if you ever want to get your kids really, really good, or your spouse, buy a Nintendo game from like Limited Run Games or Strictly, any of those companies that make the limited run games that aren't, from Nintendo, that use their cartridges. Tell them that it doesn't taste bad. I'm just saying, do it because it does. Because their cartridges taste like crap. You know what I mean? Like the Nintendo ones. And I got both my kids the same day. Like I was like, oh, these don't taste really bad. And I got them both to like put it on their tongue. Because, we all, I don't know if any of you Nintendo owners out there heard that, obviously the cartridges taste bad from Nintendo because they don't want kids eating them. And I'm pretty sure everybody put it on their tongue like they probably have a 9-volt battery at some point in their life. So, yeah, if you ever get a game like from Limited Run or something, just pull that trick on your kid. It's fun because they hate you for it for about 3 hours. Sorry. Anyways, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. So no, once again, I mean, it's something that we talk about. We every now and again we bring up Nintendo. We talk a lot about what they're doing. The tradition of Nintendo, how we all feel, the nostalgia, things like that. But this is something that they're definitely known for. So let's go ahead and get this over to you, Centurion. Where you at? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's Nintendo, so is this something that we just this tradition, this trend is going to continue with Nintendo?
We all know Nintendo just prints gold bricks, somehow. Like as soon as this thing came out and I showed it to my wife, I actually have to pre-order it. I probably should if I still can. Because that's kind of funny that we're actually talking about this, because I was reading an article today that actually came out yesterday about how an online retailer in the UK had to actually notify that all their they had to cancel all their on pre-orders because there's not enough supply of the game to go around. So, I don't know if that's because they're all being bought out. Is Nintendo able to make enough? There's another big problem right there. What happens if they kind of blow this whole launch of these 3 titles in one package because there's not enough to go around? I mean, I'm kind of curious on how that's going to turn out, but I'm excited for these games. I mean, I want to pay $60 for them. You're paying $20 a title. God, you're getting Mario 64. And then, yes, I'm over here in the bushes, Stagger. I haven't played the other 2, but I want to. But that's where
now you can.
And now I can. And that's where I feel like this $60 package has more of a value to me than the average person, which is what makes it completely biased for me at this point, because I'm excited to play them.
Okay, well, this once again, we're not. See, this is the thing. We're not shaming this at all. We're not shaming the idea of this practice. Once again, we're just kind of highlighting something that Nintendo
See,
has been known for.
I've
So,
seen a lot of people mad over the fact that like some of these games were locked at a certain frame rate or whatever, but on the computer it can be done more. Um, I don't know. For me, Nintendo did what they did for a reason. Yeah, sometimes Nintendo charges a lot for their products. That's been Nintendo since I can remember. So that's we've always talked about how Nintendo marches to like their own tune. Like they just do their own thing and they're Nintendo.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's all you can really say. Ultimately, I mean, at the end of the day, they just kind of do their own thing. They're in their own lane, and it works for them. It works for them. So let's go ahead and get this over to you, Fuzz. Where you at on this, man? I know it's just something we highlight this every now and again. We shed a little light on Nintendo. Nintendo
Yeah.
does get love on the Shop podcast. People tell
Mhm.
a friend for sure. So where you at on this, Fuzz?
Uh, I'm a Sega kid through and through, so
Hey,
I don't really mess with Nintendo too much.
Sure.
Them charging $60 for it, they're going to get it. There's no question on that. People are going to buy the game at that price. Would it be nice if they lowered their price? Sure, but they don't. They don't have to. And that's clear with a lot of their games that sell as well as they do. The limited time aspect kind of sucks, but hey, whether it's due to limited supply or if it's due to them creating that demand, so you hurry up and rush out and buy it, so be it. But those that want it are probably going to order it. Just hopefully they have enough supply to fulfill all those orders. That's probably about the biggest thing. With everything being what it is today, supply chains in general are just a pain right now. But yeah, it's not even on my radar other than happy for those that were looking forward to, some of these classic Mario games. So that's all I have on it.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair, man. So no, it's a great topic, man. Once again, we're moving things along, man. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us, man. It's just something about Nintendo. We like to dive in every often and show them a little bit of love. We don't want to forget about Nintendo. Very important here, people, that we spread the love on the Shop podcast, man. So let's keep things going. We're probably actually going to have time to take a couple questions. I've already seen people putting questions in the chat. So if you have questions, throw them in the chat. If we got a little bit of extra time, we will get to them at the end of the show. So let's keep things moving. So we're going to be talking a little bit about this PS5 showcase coming up next week. So that was announced today. Sony PlayStation came out and said that this is going to be a showcase event. It's going to be roughly 40 minutes long. So I just want to get everybody where your temperature at. I guess expectations. We kind of can't avoid that. I don't like doing those, but we kind of can't avoid it in this situation. So where you at, Stag? I mean, you gonna watch it? I think I'm probably gonna. I might not be able to watch it. I might be at work depending on what time it comes on. But I will do my best to watch it. If I don't get to watch it live, I'm damn sure gonna watch it later. So where you at, Stag? You surprised? And I I guess I'll ask you this once you kind of give your answer. I'll kind of piggyback off it. But go ahead, Stag. Where you at on
Sorry, I can't answer this question. It is not in the podcast notes for this week. No, I'm just kidding.
it?
No, so yeah, I saw the announcement this morning when I woke up, and I tweeted out, "Oh, look at that, an announcement." It's on the heels. I mean, like everyone's like, "Oh, they were both playing chicken with each other," and Microsoft did their thing first, so of course there's going to be a PlayStation reveal. But we all know, like, they both had to do this. It was, November's coming. Holiday is coming, so they couldn't just keep sitting on their thumbs, for Christ's sakes. Like they've had us all sitting here waiting, both companies, to find out what day we were getting these things, how much they were going to be. We've said it before. The window's closing, and it's nice to see that the window's pretty much closed now. I mean, with Xbox coming out and saying what their stuff is, when it's coming out, when we can pre-order it. I mean, it pretty much slammed the door on Xbox has to say something. So, no, you will never win, Chivos, unless I like break my hands. So, look, I probably won't watch the event live. I typically don't watch these events live just because I like skipping past the shit I don't care about, or the stuff that bores me. So,
That's fair.
you know, I don't. What did they say? What time it is? Oh, it's at 1 p.m. So, what day is it? Can't remember.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Well, I don't stream at that time, so it's entirely possible that I might watch it. But wait, Wednesday. What am I doing? Plans? Yeah. I gotta like wash my hair or something. I'm not sure. I think it's good. I'm really excited to actually know what the prices are on the two SKUs and know when. Well, I mean, that whole pre-order email thing, right? Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah.
Like, is there going to be more pre-orders available than other than that program that they're offering? Is what I'm curious to hear about that. Like, hey, give us your PSN ID so we can email you the invite to be able to pre-order. Like, reserve your spot to pre-order. Are they only offering it to? I'm highly curious if the only people that are going to be able to get their hands on this first run is existing PlayStation owners. Like, is there going to be some available for people that are? I mean, they already said they were running into production problems and gathering parts because of what they're using and how cell phones and tablets were using a lot of the similar stuff, and then the COVID thing. So Look, do I think that's what's going to happen? No, but I am curious to find out. So what were you going to do? What were you going to interject? Yes, you can.
Thank you. So I can at least say the one logical thing that was explained to me was, I guess PlayStation is taking a look at how often some of these people that are like signing up for the pre-orders are using their PlayStations and how involved they are in the ecosystem. Yes, it seems
like. What do you mean if they just play FIFA?
Yeah, well, right. Well, I think what they're wanting to make sure is that people are not going to be getting a hold of them to resell them.
Well, I mean, they're controlling the market too. I mean, with this whole pre-ordering from us, it gives them an opportunity to control the overhead. Like, because if they put their SKU in a store, like that retailer gets a cut. You know what I mean? Granted, they have to sell it to that retailer for a price that makes sense for the retailer to make a profit too.
Yeah.
Which cuts into PlayStation, Sony, whoever, whatever you want to word it, cuts into their margins for where they can price this console so that they either take a slighter hit or make a profit. Because I mean, that's really, we know how much it costed to make them. It was like $450 to $470. So I'm guessing the high end model. So I mean, I feel like they have to come in at $500 for the top of the line model. And are they going to come in less than that just to put a middle finger to Xbox? I don't know if they can afford to. So I mean, granted, they have money, but they're still in the business of making money for their shareholders. So,
and that's something we've been speculating. I mean, whoever goes first or whoever essentially, gives that information first, what's gonna be the next move? Xbox made their move. The $299, really, really great price point. I don't know if Sony can get to that.
Yeah, I don't think that lower end range. PlayStation. I don't think the PS5 small end is going to be lower than $299.
I think
they might try and match, but I don't think they can.
Yeah, I don't.
That's a tall order.
Yeah, if they can do it, I mean, kudos to Sony.
I can see like 400, 500, or maybe 400, 600, but that's. I mean, I can match on both. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, I think that's going to be tough. I think they can do the 5.
And if they limit SKU opportunity, like how much they have and how much is available and who they make it available to, and Xbox is like, we're in full production. Christmas is going to, like I just said earlier, there's going to be a lot of Xboxes under Christmas trees if it's more available.
Yeah.
Little Johnny might want a PS5, but Mama couldn't get him one, so she just picked him up an Xbox Series S.
Something that needs to be noted before we move on is that I saw a tweet. I think it was AC Bongos, or even no, I think it maybe Larry, somebody tweeted out, it could be Aaron. They're going to be available in a bunch more territories as well this time around.
Yep.
Than they weren't in 2013 when the Xbox One released.
They've
Bunch
been-
of other places.
They've been ready longer than they've let on, I think.
Yeah.
Xbox. I mean, yeah. So
Reek, really? He said people want $2.99 and $3.99.
people want hell and ice water too, or ice water and hell. Excuse me. Dyslexic wording. Yay! They want hell and ice water. Yeah, let's just go with that from now on. I'm gonna put that on a T-shirt and brand it.
That's a tall order, buddy. I don't know, man. That $3.99. That may be the base model.
Well, and another really cool thing about like the Xboxes, the new ones, is we can use our current controllers on them.
Yeah.
You know, just saying. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to buy
But you
3
can't
more
blow on 'em.
controllers to boost achievements now. So
You
I
can't
can
blow
just,
on them. It doesn't do anything.
I can blow on it. It just doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? It just puts the dust off in my Cheetos.
Too much. All right, so it's on you, Centurion. Where you at on this, man? This news dropped today. Sony event going live next week. Some people are talking about maybe some major game announcement, maybe an exclusive, maybe a third-party deal kind of a situation. I don't know. It's 40 minutes long, so that's a decent amount of time. So where you at on this, man?
Where am I at on this?
Oh, here we go.
I want to see
He's in the
Jim
bushes.
Ryan sitting in front of a black screen with some mist floating around in the background. Horrible lighting that just accentuates everything. And I just want large sweeping shots of the PS5, just like the other event. Anyways, so what am I expecting out of them? I'm expecting them to be Sony. I'm pretty sure that they have had some kind of promo that they have been just waiting to release into the world that is going to continue putting them in the spotlight. And I'm just curious on how they're going to try to undercut Xbox. Sony has made a tactic of always trying to undercut Xbox. And at this point, I'm really curious on what they're going to try to do. People talk about confusion in the market. Microsoft has done a very good job of making sure that people know the difference between the products that they're putting out. And PS5 has been a little vague on how this flexible architecture inside this thing, let alone the difference of these consoles is going to be. And from what it looks like, it's only going to be the disk drive. And this is where people are going to get confused probably. And they're going to be expecting a bigger price difference between the PS5 with the disk drive and the PS5 without the disk drive, purely because of the standard that Xbox is going to set. So I'm curious on how this whole event is going to be altogether. I'm actually wanting to tune in. Normally, I just wait for PlayStation events. And luckily, this one is on a Wednesday. And I don't have to come home and check it out. I actually get to watch this live, so this is going to be fun. This is going to be absolute fun.
Oh, I gotta call your boss. This is bullshit.
Dude, you know what? Go ahead, call my boss. And the funny part is, you will call me back going, "How the fuck do you work for that guy?"
Probably get along with him then.
Oh, dude, oh man, you probably would. You would. Oh man, you would.
All right, well, let's keep this thing moving, man. Once again, this is very, very interesting to see. Interesting timing. I mean, say what you will about the timing. You could make any argument at this point, because I mean, it is a day later. I mean, it is kind of, essentially a day and a half later. It is right after that information dropped as far as pricing for Xbox. So were they waiting? Were they not waiting? Obviously, that will remain to be seen until we get the show next week. So, where you at on this, Fuzz? When you heard about it, what are your, I guess, expectations? I mean, I'm hearing and seeing some things on Twitter about another, some more games to possibly be shown. Like I said, 40 minutes long. That's a good amount of time. Generally, they've been really good about showing gameplay and being able to fill the time up. So we'll see. But where you at, man?
I'm excited, because I'm getting one of those as well. As far as what I'm expecting pricing, obviously, pre-order date and release date. Rumblings I'm hearing so far is that it's going to come out like a week or so after the Xboxes. Like, I guess November 20th, I guess, is when it releases. Now, as far as the pre-order, that is yet to be seen. Pricing, I expect the discless one to be $399, the one with the disc $499. I could see them trying to do $449 for the disc one, just so they're a little bit less than the Xbox Series X. But
break even.
Yeah,
Plus shipping, plus box, plus all the things that go along with the packaging, and I don't see it.
Well, they did take a loss on those PS3s when those things came out. That cell processor, the R&D behind it costs a lot more per unit than what they sold that thing for.
Even at
$600. I'm hoping that the disc one is the same price. That's my main thing, because I need the one with the disc, because there's a handful of PS games or PS4 games that I have on disc that I'm not going to spend $20 per digital copy when I can get the physical copy for $7.
Yeah.
But outside of that, they have a couple of games that are postponed. It'd be nice to see what's going to be available for launch, but I'm not really as worried about their launch games, just like I'm not as worried about Xbox's launch games. As long as I can play my GT Sport from my PS4 on there, and it plays at least the level of what the PS4 Pro did or better, I'll be happy. But I guess the big thing is, if there's going to be a new game announced, unless it's something along the lines of MotorStorm, which that studio is now long gone, the employees are at various other studios, mainly over at Codemasters. There's nothing that's going to move the needle or change anything for me as far as a game announcement.
That does open up some possibilities about another game announcement. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything brand new. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, anything's going to be big for them. I mean, at this point, anything new is.
Well, I would like to see another Resistance Fall of Man type of thing made, but I doubt that that's even on the to-do list or anything like that. It'd be nice to know when Gran Turismo 7 is coming out, or at least have a date for that. That would be nice. But I don't think that that's as polyphony, as long as they take to make a game. I hope it's in time before the PS5 is replaced by the PS6. So as long as we get it this next generation, I guess I'll be happy. But outside of that, just looking forward to the event so I know how much and when I can buy it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, once again, man, this is something that we talked about. When is it going to happen? So we got the info today. It's something that we're all looking forward to. I think ultimately, this is good for everybody, man. This is what we like to see, some movement finally on the pricing. Things were getting close, man. They were cutting the shit. I mean, you talk about balls to the wall, like right there, dude. Like, we're ass in. We're already mid-September. They were cutting it close, man. So glad we're getting the information now. Hopefully we get pricing next week. We all assume we are at the Sony show. If they do some shit, if they don't show pricing, then I don't know what the hell we're going to do from that standpoint, because I don't think any of us got a plan B if they don't show pricing at that shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Sony event. PS5 has been delayed.
No, we're not doing that.
I said that earlier in the year.
What? Don't bring that energy in here,
dude. Dude, oh my God! If they came out and said something like that, there would be so many people that would have to hit the eject button.
No, we're not. I don't wish that upon nobody. We're not doing that. We want all these things.
No, I know. I'm not wishing that upon no one. I want a PS5. I want to play. I want to play my next gen Ratchet and Clank.
Chris, I'm not defending you. Relax, okay? I got this, but I'm not. This is.
Dude, I do not wish Sony would delay. What are you sitting? Oh my God! I just like to make. Are you kidding me right now? I'm gonna get a PS5 as long as they let me buy one, and I want to play my next gen game, Ratchet and Clank, and my Spider-Man DLC.
Let's get it, man. We
buy. You don't have enough trophies.
Listen,
denied.
I know, dude. It's just like whatever.
We're not gatekeeping for achievement,
dude. Like as soon as you as you unwrap the PS5, it's gonna be covered in like little cellophanes with platinum trophies on it because the fact that you have it is a platinum trophy.
So this is what I want to do right now. That was the last topic. So I appreciate every single one of you guys, by the way. But there were a couple questions that I saw you guys drop in the chat earlier, and I want to get to a couple before we wrap things up, man. This has been a lit ass show. I appreciate you guys, man. This week has been popping. You guys are going crazy. Okay. Let's see. What is this? Victor said. Okay, so question, Victor. Shout out to Victor Alstein, or I think it's Alstein. He said, "Do you think it's possible that Sony has updated the specs of PS5 to be higher than Series X, or maybe to finalize it until late because dev kits were already?" He said dev kits were like 13.3. I don't know if he's talking about T-flops, but anybody want to take that one? I'm not the most tech savvy guy.
Dev kits are always usually overpowered.
Yeah, dev kits are always higher than what the final spec is going to be. There'll be a PS5 Pro at some point. If there is a delay, they would do it, and that's when I said earlier in the year Sony would possibly delay things and try to outdo it, but they've already passed that window. There's no way they can change things that fast at this point. Like, you have to understand, these pre-orders at this point, that means I would say about 70% of your shipping for retail is already produced and on the boat. It takes about 2 months to get these things from China over to the States. I have no idea what it is for other regions, but it's a 2-month travel. It's too late for them to do anything to the current spec for the PS5. But if you're waiting for PS5 Pro, good luck waiting about a year or two for it. I would say it would take about that amount of time for them to get that to production readiness, but that's just my 2 cents.
Okay, all right. Anyway, anybody else want to tackle that? I'm gonna look for one more question in the chat.
You mean on the whole, is PS5 going to come out and do that? Yeah, I couldn't do it better than Fuzzy. There's no way. There's no way I would be complete. That would look very funny right now if they did that. Let's just say that. Like, I mean, like, it would definitely be like, oh, really? Are we really going to try to do that now? And for me, there's a lot of confusion on exactly how the teraflops work in the PS5, because the developers have to find a balance between GPU and CPU. And that's where I even kind of wonder how that's going to affect gaming in the long run on the PS5.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think I've seen any additional questions here in the chat.
Crazy Greek dude asked, "Where's Jack and Daxter?" And I would have to agree. Where is that game?
I don't know.
No, I was just saying, like, if they were to do a remake of it, because those were fun games back in the day.
Yeah, no, Jack and Daxter's a good game. I don't know what the demand is for that on Sony's side though. So that'd be another game where you'd have to poll like the Sony fans.
Was there really a huge demand for Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah. Shit, what? Ratchet and Clank had a movie at some point.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. I see Jack and Dexter up there with Ratchet and Clank, because those were like the staples of the PS2.
Yeah, Sly Cooper, all that kind of stuff. So what we're saying is, ultimately, those things. I don't know. I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see where this goes. So,
Shaughnessy's question.
What do you ask?
With the Series X at launch, do you think Xbox is working on a mid-gen refresh? Do you think there's going to be mid-gen refreshes again?
I do. But I think they're going to come later than what we would normally expect. Like, I think just this past generation was like 4 years. I think this generation is probably going to last longer than what we expect. It'll be closer to a 10-year cycle unless something dramatically changes technology-wise. But I think we'll see dare I say, a 24 gigs of RAM console at some point. I think 24 will be the next step up after 16. I don't think they're going to go a full 32. But I think we will see something like a PS4 Pro, a PS5 Pro, and an Xbox Series X2. But at that point, that means 8K TVs are better than 1% or better than 4% of the, population out there. And then there will be a 8K 60 will be the new coming standard, with 4K 120 being that obtainable standard on those consoles.
I don't know. That's a stretch. I don't even want to think that far. I'll be honest with you. I really don't. We're having this conversation now. It's 2020 in September. I don't even want to do it. I'm not touching that at all. I'm not.
They always work on the next thing. As soon as you hear about the upcoming one, they're already working on the next one. So
that
it's
may
either
be
next gen or it's going to be mid-fresh or mid-gen refresh.
That may be the case.
There's a lot of people out here trying to say that they're trying to stop making hardware.
We're not doing that. We're not even going into
Well,
that.
no, I'm not trying to go down that dark road, but I'm just saying, like, it really does seem like these companies do want to push the envelope of the hardware that you have at home, but then there's still that vocal group that wants to feel that these companies are trying to push everything to this cloud tech.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be a bit of time before we get to companies completely abandoning the hardware, at least for the enthusiasts. There's always going to be a $500 bill that a lot of us are out there willing to pay, or at least a $300 bill that a lot of us are willing to pay for some sort of tech. I would like to see it go to like a VR or AR type of headset type of thing at some point that's wireless, but I think we'll see that before they completely go hardware free, where it's like, oh, it's based on your TV. Just use your original controller and there you go. I think I think it will grow, but I don't think that will be the norm for some time. I think we'll go completely digital before we get to that point too.
Yeah. Okay. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. It has been a live, fun, and amazing episode of the Shop Podcast this week. We've talked about a lot of things. If you want to catch the show again, if you're listening to this for the second time, once again, the link will be up later on Twitter. So follow me there. Follow everybody here on the Shop Podcast there on Twitter. I appreciate everybody that watched live, everybody in the chat. Everything was lit. The chat was going crazy today. I appreciate everybody's support, man. You guys, every single week, you come here, you have fun. Once again, tell all your friends about us. Retweet the link on Twitter. Let everybody know the Shop Podcast is live every Saturday. But let me go ahead and get my compadres all in the mix. So, Stag, once again, thank you, bro, for being on the show every week, man. A true asset to the podcast, bro. So let everybody know what's going on with you, where they can find you at, man.
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, under Staggerilla, talking stuff about games and gardening and life and whatnots, and streaming the games, and here on Saturdays. Not very much of a cool outro, but that's what you get this week.
So good.
Right, I got other things going on over here in the background that you guys don't see, so I'm a little distracted right now. So
you all good, brother. You all good, but we appreciate you, man, every single week, man. So this over to you, Centurion, man. Once again, another awesome gentleman. Appreciate you here every week, man. Let everybody know what's going on with you, man. What's cooking up with the channel? Where can they find you at?
Oh man, what's cooking up with the channel? So yes, I guess one thing I've kind of not put out as much content as I want, because yes, I am an Xbox fan, but oh my god, you get tired of beating the drum. You don't want to beat the console war drum, but you kind of got to highlight some of the things of the console you prefer to be on. But I'm wanting to just kind of concentrate on the future. I'm wanting to highlight some games that are getting ready to come out by the end of this year, going into next year, and even into the future. I mean, I've just had a lot of fun creating content towards games that we can look forward to, rather than the games that we're all complaining that we don't have. Anyways, but to find that content, you can always find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Xbox Live at Centurion1307. You can also find me right here kicking it with these great individuals on the Shop Podcast every Saturday night. And you can also find me every Sunday night on the TXR Podcast.
Awesome, man. We greatly appreciate you hanging out with us, man, every single week, man. You're a true asset here on the Shop Podcast, man. Thank you so much for being here every single week, man. Once again, check him out. All of the information is in the link in the description below. Go follow all of us on Twitter. Last but not least, the Smooth Operator, Fuzzy Belvedere.
Hold on, let me put on the other headphone.
Yeah, ASMR channel coming soon. OnlyFans.
coming in hot.
Oh, there it is. Running hot. There it is, people. Anyway, fellas, let everybody know what's going on with you, man. Appreciate you here every single week, brother.
Thank you. I'm gonna try my best to put out some more content. I probably should speak some more about the whole GTA 6 and everywhere, and a few other things that are going on behind the scenes that I don't, it is what it is.
Can I ask what is going on with GTA 6? This is like the only game that has like literally sold itself before it ever came out.
I just think it's one of those things where once you lose some of the head people, especially one of the story writers, where do you go from there? I mean, I think the team, not knocking the Rockstar team, a lot of excellent talent there, but I think a lot of them are geared more towards, creating the content for things like the online. That's been, kind of like the shift, and what probably kind of drove away a couple of the guys that were there, where you make your own story. And I don't know if you can really make a Grand Theft Auto game where you make your own story. I mean, I don't know. Online does well on its own, but there's a lot of us that want some sort of story content. And I just think it's one of those things that there's no story being written right now. There's no direction, none of that stuff. So it's just not going to see the light of day. So we'll see a GTA Online 2 before we see a GTA 6. And we'll see a lot of other games that are earlier on in development. But aside from that, I'll probably work on a video talking about more of that stuff and a lot of the other things that are going on behind the scenes. But you can find me on Twitter, usually stirring the pot when people like to be one-sided on stuff.
I got one more thing when you're done, Fuzzy.
Okay. You can find me on Instagram, and you can find me on either PSN or Xbox Live. Fuzzy Belvedere, either with a space, without a space, or with an underscore. That's all I got.
So, PT, if you don't mind, I got one thing.
Uh-oh.
No, it's nothing bad, actually. So I just wanted to say real quick, starting September 17th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, I am teamed and going through the 20th. So next weekend, starting Thursday through Sunday, I've teamed up with a group of other streamers, and we are going to be doing a charity stream for St. Jude's. Through the entire 4 days, we're going to be giving out codes for games. I have collected personally over 400 game codes from different devs to give away. No donations necessary, but man, it's for St. Jude's. It's for the kids. If you guys could come through, show your support. Check my wall for the schedule. I'll be streaming 2 hours for it on Thursday and then 2 hours for it on Sunday. So like I said, it's for the kids, and it would be great if we could all rally behind this and donate some money and just show up. So that's all I wanted to say.
That's awesome.
Appreciate that.
I figured, I was like, wait. I'm not going to see these guys for another week. This is my chance. I can't forget this.
No, yeah. You guys can, once again, follow Stag for all of that information. Go check him out on Twitter. I'm sure all the information is there. Do the right thing, man. Once again, we do want to support if we possibly can. So that's awesome, Stag.
I mean, you just show up as support. Yeah. You don't have to just show up, hang out, maybe retweet the tweet if you see it on my wall. We're just trying to. Our goal is $10,000 over 4 days, and we'll see if we can get there. But I really hope we do, because it's for a great cause. So
awesome, man. We greatly appreciate that, man. But that's amazing. So if you guys can support that, please do. Once again, follow Stag for all of the information below, man. But yeah, last but not least, me, PTK Blam, across the board. Hit me up on Xbox Live, PTK Blam, on Twitter as well. Appreciate you guys. Same time, same place next week. I do have a guest next week. I already got the guest lined up. Had him lined up for about 2 weeks now, so we should be good to go. I'll make that announcement probably Monday or Tuesday. So be on the lookout for that. Follow everybody on Twitter. I appreciate you guys' love and support. See you guys next week. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have fun. Be safe. Peace out, everybody.